So far we've been using a methodical process to creating a plot outline, and in this video we're going to take a look at some unconventional means for creating your plot outline. But the first thing we're going to do is use the character arc validator, and this is going to look at the character arcs you created early on in the process, and it's going to compare them to plot outline 4 to see if there's any deviations you need to correct. So it's provided a list of our main characters and our secondary characters. So the characters that would have some type of character arc. And just for grins, we'll do Lena. Well, quick one-paragraph summary of what the character's role is in the story, and then expands a 5-paragraph summary, basically looking at, a shortened version of the story from there, kind of focusing on that character in particular, and then a timeline of events that happen throughout their character arc in the story, and then it gives you the character adherence rating. It's saying it's a 9 out of 10. If there were some issues, and maybe the number was lower, then we would look at the character arc itself, or something during the story writing process caused a detour, and now the character arc in the story isn't what we wanted for the character, and so we might need to go back and look at making changes and regenerating our plot outline. But that's character arc validator. The next prompt we're going to look at is the RNGeezus plot outline, and this is one that I wrote some time back just out of frustration, where with an earlier version of the PBN guide, even though I had a plot idea in mind and I thought I had set everything up, it just was not, final plot outline was not matching the original story idea. And because I wasn't as confident and didn't know as much about prompting and how to use custom prompts in Novel Crafter, I just decided, you know what, instead of trying to force the AI into creating a plot the way I want, why don't I just give it the list of all the story notes that have information about the story, the subplots, the character arcs, all that stuff that we've built over the last few hours, and say, you know what, here's the raw materials, write a story, create a story outline for me. Grok 3 Mini has finished the outline, roughly 2,200 words, and it's really focused on our original story idea. So the richer, more detailed the story ideas, the more likely it's going to come up with a plot outline that fits the story. And it also uses the plot structure that you chose early on. And really, this is kind of scenes with scene beats. So that it's not a narrative summary of your story, but like here, where is it located? The POV character. Which character owns the scene, the type, proactive, reactive, both, and then it just creates some scene beats. In this case, 3 scene beats per scene. And you can see, the scene beats are fairly short, concise, but this is the kind of thing that you could expand upon and then feed into a scene beat completion prompt and probably get a respectable story out of it. But it's I think 10 chapters and 18 scenes, so that's a sizable story. But anyway, it is an idea that, if at some point you get frustrated or you're just in a hurry, you can use the RNGeezus plot outline to get you on your way. And this is definitely an opportunity for kit bashing because it is such a short plot outline. You can switch up the models and run it again and see which ones come up with the best ideas. Next, we're going to do the anti-plot outline. And the idea with this one is it's more about ensuring that your antagonist is an equal match for your protagonist. So, you spend a lot of time making your protagonist likable and working on their personality and, who they are as a person. And then sometimes the antagonist ends up being, this very flat kind of cardboard cutout character. So what the anti-plot outline says is, now that you've created an entire plot outline, let's reimagine a story if the antagonist was the POV character. They're the hero of the story, telling about how, they were just going about their life and this crazy protagonist comes along and ruins it for them. And who knows, maybe that will be the second book in your series is, okay, I told you the story from this character's perspective. Let's look at it from the other person's perspective. But again, the primary purpose really is just looking at your antagonist and making sure that they're fully fleshed out. You know what? Let's really force it. Let's use Lena again. It's more of a story of her trying to control these two evil techno-bro geniuses from stealing Mars from the rest of humanity. Alright, so yeah, 04 Mini High gave us a very short plot outline, but this is something, if you wanted to, you could probably just clone your novel or use it as a template to make another novel, bring over the codex, bring over the snippets if need be, and then feed this, and then consider this as plot outline 1, and then go through the process again and building this out. But this one very much relies on the plot structure you've placed in note 115. So we can see here it's got the percentage of where in the story these things should happen. And again, this is another one that you can run multiple times with different LLMs, kind of kit bash. But again, the idea being it's looking at your story from yet another angle to try to make it the most engaging story that you can come up with. But at that point, we're going to close out this video and move on to the next one, where we turn our plot outline 4 into scenes and scene beats. If you have any questions, I highly recommend joining the Novel Crafter Discord. Thanks for watching and keep writing. Future readers are waiting for your stories.